So people ask, why Cloudbreaker? For a lot of reasons, really. We wanted to come up with something that solved for problems that no other RV has ever really done before. In this size, in this weight range, having this amount of window coverage, the dual power awning coverage, the extra tall ground clearance on here, the different sleeping solutions, the ability to be just a total solo RVer, to work for couples, to work for families, you know. There's just nothing else this size that can give you this amount of versatility in this package, especially for this price. So on the outside here, some of the major qualities that I like on this one, first of all, is just the dual power awning coverage on this. It's push button simple, and for a small RV to have this amount of total awning coverage is kind of unheard of before. It's all just simple push button easy. You might notice the incredible level of window coverage that we have on this as you come closer a little bit here. And you might notice how these big airflow windows are covered by that awning to really give you great rainy day airflow as well. The stable steps on the back, the legs have really long travel, so that if you are in that really weird, rocky, uneven ground, they still stay solid under you instead of always like one side clunking and the other not. Don't know if you've ever run into that, but as someone that camps, I definitely have. Additionally, they have the really long travel because we have the rapid axle system on here, the really tall ground lift kit that we have on this to really maximize your total clearance. One of the best parts about that is it doesn't matter if you're going to just be on the highway or if you're getting off the pavement a little bit, whether it's speed bumps or rocks or muddy little dirt track 2 trails. Having that extra clearance is awesome, as is having the gas grill quick connect right here to give you an option to have propane cooking outside of the RV, so you're not adding all the humidity and the smoke and the smells and everything into your camper. And for a little camper to have a human being sized storage compartment like this is a really rare find. Now, a lot of people are not going to use a camper like this full time, so we wanted to make sure things like your batteries were going to be charged up and ready for you when you got back to it. That's one of the reasons that we made sure to include a battery disconnect for the chassis right here. Also on the roof, there's a small solar package just to keep your battery topped off while you are in storage mode, basically. It will give you some extended dry camp time, but it's not a be-all, end-all solar package. We always try to be fair and real with you. The hot, cold outside utility shower here is also a really handy feature, and this does have a gas and electric water heater, which I know a lot of people, when you are kind of boondock off-grid camping, do prefer because it tends to use less propane and put less water in your gray tank that you didn't mean to put there. Once again, you can see the huge ground clearance you have for all of your sewer outlets, the bigger tire package that we have, and that is adjustable. So if you're like, yeah, but I need to get this down in a garage, you can sling that axle back over, you could change out the tire, you could drop the total clearance of this quite a bit if need be. I also really appreciate the tinted windows you have on here, whether it's keeping out the sunshine or the nosy neighbors. It's nice to maintain some privacy. And you may have noticed that ladder bracket. It does have a walkable roof. Not every little camper does, but we didn't want to cut that major corner right there. So to give you a size reference, I'm a little bit over 6 foot tall. You notice I don't have to like super duck inside this thing. We wanted to make a small camper that still had a full size feel. This still has a 6.5 foot interior height, just to give you a little bit of a reference point here. With these big shoes on, I'm probably 6'2", 6'3". And this is a full body, 8 foot wide camper. And what that means is, although the walkway here is a little bit tight, overall, you get a lot of space in here. One of the things that I love most on this one, though, is just the comfort that you experience in this living space. We have multiple different seating and sleeping setups all packed within this little camper. And when you get in here, it kind of feels anything but small because you have this massive panoramic window surrounding you and staring straight out at your campsite. So if you're in some place where you're looking at a lake or mountains or just, I don't know, some kind of beautiful greenery or woodlands or something like that, you're still feeling like you're getting to experience the outdoors even while you're indoors here and comfortable. So after a long day of biking, hiking, hunting, fishing, or just doing nothing because you've earned it, you probably want a place to just crash down and recharge. We wanted to make sure one of our Go Lites had a full-time fixed bed. Not something that you have to fold up, down, where you don't have to make the bed and put on the bedding and the pillows every single day. The Cloudbreaker just has a bed right here anytime. Now, you could always use it like a lounge. You could always just kick back and enjoy the view from all the windows here, but you need a place to put your clothes as well. And once again, despite being a smaller camper, we did everything we could to really maximize any storage space that we had available, including getting really creative with what's down here under the foot of the bed by leaving this a little bit open. Now, one of the cool parts about that is if you have some extra totes or like a little dog bed or anything like that, there's a lot of different ways you can use this space right here, even if you just end up sitting on the bed and just sort of curling your legs under you. You know, if you just want to sit here and chat with somebody at the little dining bar, there's a lot of different ways you can make this work. If you're doing more than solo camping, if you have buddy camping situations, or if you have a small family in a small camper, we wanted to make sure that we had a little something for everybody in this. When this shelf folds down up here, basically it creates an extra sleeping space. But as you notice, we created an extra power pocket up here to keep all the little devices that the littles might have available and charged up, but also to give you a way to put those devices away during the day and kind of close this up and get them out of the way. Then down below, if you want it, you also have the fold-out sofa. So depending on how you're going to rack, pack, and stack people in here, it could be a solo camper, couples model, maybe up to a family of 4 with 2 small kids. And for those times where you are cooking inside, we wanted to make sure we had a well-equipped, compact kitchenette up here, beginning with dual high output stovetop burners. The reason I want to stress high output is those can actually boil water. Not every camper has high output burners, but they never bother telling you when they don't, you know what I mean? Down below, also, if you have park hookups or a generator, we do have a traditional residential microwave. So whether it's Hot Pockets or something else, if you just need a, a quick bite before you hit the road or go out for the day, you got an easy place to warm stuff up. We also knew counter space was going to be a limited challenge in an RV like this, which is another reason that we put the folding dinette right here. That can absolutely function just like extended counter space. But it's also a reason that we included this extra large sink cover here for you, and it is very heavy duty. So like if you come in with a big heavy bag of groceries, you actually can use that as counter space. And we did want to make sure that we gave you some decent clearance here. When you do have like larger pots and pans, you actually have a big space where you can get big things clean. Or depending on your family situation, this might sound strange, you could bathe a baby in that sucker if need be, and that's no joke right there. Beyond that, we wanted to really kind of maximize whatever storage opportunities we had in this space, and we wanted to make sure we kind of adopted a policy I call not an ounce of space gone to waste. So whether it's your boxes of mac and cheese, your dog treats, you've at least got a little bit of dry goods storage space here. And this RV basically has kind of like a double wardrobe, double pantry situation we haven't even got to yet. This also is a 12-volt compressor fridge. One of the reasons I like this is because they are very traveling friendly. When you're going down the road, there's no worry about, can I run it? Is it legal to run it? Usually just the power coming in from your vehicle is enough to keep that up and running. And when you are hooked up in a park solution or park situation, that'll run indefinitely. But we wanted to make sure we gave you a separate fridge and freezer, which very few little RVs in this price range offer. And obviously a little camper like this, you might spend a lot of time outside, but whether it's early morning, late night, or just a rainy day, you need to sit down and have a place to eat. We wanted to make sure we had a solution for that in the RV. So we kind of came up with this little fold down, I call it a dinesque, because it could be a little bit of a diner. With the power outlets that we have over here, it could be a little bit of a weekend laptop warrior station. But what's awesome is how you can reuse this space in different ways in such a small camper. Another really handy aspect of the Cloudbreaker is the bonus storage and sleeping solutions that you get out of this. Because as you see down here, this could be just general storage for your chips and your mac and cheese and all that. But if you have a small wastebasket, like one of those Walmart bag-sized wastebaskets, it could fit in there very nicely. And if you have bigger, taller stuff, we wanted to make sure we had a dedicated space for you in here to have some of those larger objects without shelves necessarily always being in the way. But that's not all. I feel like a Ron Popeil infomercial. Back here in the corner, we have another dedicated pantry space or dresser or combination thereof. And there's a lot of storage capacity up here. Now, it doesn't necessarily go all the way up to the ceiling, but we'll get to that in another segment because we've utilized every nook and cranny of this camper we possibly can. But I mentioned bonus storage and sleeping solutions because this can all become something else. We also really went back and forth on this one. Some people wanted to make sure their camper has a bathroom, And some people in a small RV really didn't care for a bathroom. So we tried to sort of split the difference in the middle, and we went with a very small corner combo bath. Now, for some people, they really like the idea of having a fully self-contained bathroom here where you could have a shower, where you could use the toilet. But some people will just turn this into a closet or an extra pantry or do a little bit of DIY work. And that's one of the benefits of the way that this RV is constructed. It can allow you to potentially hang things on the walls to make the bathroom something else as desired. And people ask us all the time, what do we have for heating and cooling solutions on our Go Lite series? One thing we wanted to do on our Cloudbreaker is give you a full power air conditioner. More people camp when it's hot than when it's cold. So by going with a full-size roof air, we were able to provide maximum cooling capacity in this small box right here. So if you're one of those folks that likes to breathe icicles when you sleep, you're going to sleep good in a Go Lite. And to make sure you could use your Cloudbreaker to the greatest extent possible, we wanted to include an actual propane furnace rather than just a little electric heater for a number of reasons. This, again, will give you function even when you are boondocking and off-grid. There are a lot of small campers in this size that either have no heater whatsoever or an electric fireplace that is just a space heater that will not work unless you're running a generator all the time or plugged into park power.